Hello everyone, and welcome back. I wanted to talk about something very briefly today that's kind of raised an eyebrow for me and made me a little concerned. Recently there has been a Kickstarter that has begun for Deep Rock Galactic beer mugs in real life. Now, I haven't been following this as it's been, coming to fruition super closely. I was under the impression that these were going to be extremely expensive and made out of real metal. In reality, they are not as expensive as I was expecting, and in fact made out of food-safe plastic. So I understand from reading the comments on the Steam update and in the official Discord that this was kind of surprising to a lot of people and upsetting. And I can understand both sides of this. Yes, it's much easier to mass produce these out of plastic, where on the other side, people are willing to pay a lot of money for a quality product when we're talking about a game that they're as passionate about as Deep Rock Galactic. Now, I'm not going to necessarily take a side and say whether it was right or wrong to make them out of plastic. If I was going to have to choose, I would personally have rather had a metal one that I was paying multiple hundreds of dollars for. I don't think I'm personally going to buy the plastic ones myself, as I don't see myself really using it. That as an aside though, something I wanted to call attention to with this project is the color scheme and the different versions of the mugs. And I don't want to say that this is an intentional deception, as it's made quite clear if you read the Kickstarter page word by word, but I think that when we're talking about a game like Deep Rock Galactic and things that people can throw money at adjacent to the game, you do have to do a great deal to kind of put forth these pitfalls, because more than any other game and any other project or any other merchandise, you are going to have people that just pull open the Kickstarter page, scroll to the most expensive one, and press purchase. And whether or not they realize what they're buying, it doesn't matter, because they want to support adjacent projects to the game. And be that as it may, they may not be as concerned or upset with this little thing that I found as I am, but I wanted to call attention to this regardless. If we look at the Kickstarter page, this is what people see. They see the 4 different mugs, they see a video, and then obviously you have the different versions you can buy, where you get 1, 2, 4, or 4 mugs and some accessories. Now, something I want to call attention to here is that it deliberately shows all the different types, or different types, in all the different versions you can buy. But if we scroll down here, in the middle of the page, we find this blurb of text. The color scheme for the other mugs will need to be unlocked through stretch goals due to the manufacturing's minimum order thresholds. Now, this is where I kind of take issue, because yes, I understand that this is an expensive project, and I don't want to say that it's necessarily overpriced per se. I understand that making these designs, mass producing them, shipping them all over the world is not a cheap affair by any means, and this is probably not a super profitable endeavor anyways. But I can't really get my head around the concept that in order to get one different color variation for the mugs, which is what's being advertised as the tier 2 to purchase, the veteran minor version for £105, is going to require a total contribution to the Kickstarter of over £700,000. And let's just put this in perspective, because the minimum Kickstarter goal is $261,000. So we're basically saying that we have to get $261,000 to make just the pots of gold mugs and send those out individually. But the issue here is that for all the individuals that are pledging for multiple mugs, they are essentially vulnerable to the possibility that if this stretch goal isn't met, even if they paid the maximum amount of money for 4 mugs, they are going to be stuck with 4 of the same color, or 2 of each. Which, like I said, if people are willing to throw $250 at this project, they probably don't care that much about the color of the mugs per se. But I think it's just a little thing that worries me, because whenever, like I said at the beginning, when we're talking about games like Deep Rock Galactic with cult followings that are willing to throw a lot of money at things adjacent to the game, as we can see here, there's nearly as many people who have bought the £250 version as have bought the cheapest version. And call me a little cynical, but I think that speaks more to the Deep Rock Galactic community and their dedication to the game, rather than the quality of this specific Kickstarter. It looks good. As far as plastic cups and game merch goes, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I just don't think there's that many other game communities out there that would have as many people paying £250 as they would having put 55 pounds in. That's just my 2 cents on the matter, and I think it's a little concerning and probably not intentionally deceptive, but I think there's definitely at least a few of these people who have bought into this without realizing that if £1 million isn't raised, they're not going to get exactly what's being advertised to them. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Like I said, I don't necessarily plan on buying into it myself, so I would love to hear your thoughts on whether or not you're gonna pay £55 plus shipping and handling and tax for the plastic mug. Like I said, I don't think it's wrong to. I think that's fairly reasonable for official game merch per se. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts on this. As always, thank you for watching, and have a nice day.